Universidad Autónoma de Sinaloa, Facultad de Informática, Culiacán. Greetings! Our team is composed of Beatriz, William, Luis Ramon, Brian, Guillermo, and me, Juan Francisco, and we want to talk to you about the country of South Korea.
South Korea's flag. This is the flag of South Korea. The colors of the flag are red, blue, and black on a white background. The flag stands for the three components of a nation: the land, the white background; the people, the red and blue circle; and the government, the four sets of black bars or trigrams. It was created in 1882, but the symbols are among the oldest found on any nation's flag. The elements of the flag symbolize the dual force of nature. You can see the name of the red and blue circles in the middle of the flag, which translated literally means supreme ultimate. The circle is divided into two parts, each of which resembles a comma. The upper red part represents the force of Yang, and the lower blue part represents the force of Yin in Chinese.
South Korea's capital city, Seoul. It is located on the Yang River in the northwest part of the country, which the city centers some 60 km inland from the Yellow Sea west. Seoul is the cultural, economic, and political center of South Korea. The name itself has come to mean capital in the Korean language.
Where is South Korea? How big is it and how many people live in it exactly? South Korea has an estimated surface area of 100,300 square kilometers. It occupies the southern portion of the Korean Peninsula. The country is bordered by North Korea to the north, the Sea of Japan to the east, the East China Sea to the south, and the Yellow Sea to the west. Finally, the current population of South Korea is around 50 million people, based on projections of the latest United Nations data.
In what do people from South Korea believe? South Korea is a country where all the world's major religions, Christianity, Buddhism, Confucianism, and the Islam, perfectly coexist with shamanism. According to the 2015 statistic, 44% of South Korea identify with a religion.
The language they speak, Korean, is known in the language itself as Korean, while its alphabet is known as Hangul. Is the language of the Korean Peninsula in Northeast Asia. In the Republic of Korea, South Korea, there are 42 million speakers. Apart from Korean, there are also some people in South Korea who speak in English, which has been promoted as second language as supported by government initiative, and Japanese, which is spoken by the majority of the Japanese speakers who reside in Busan, which is short trip to the Japanese city of Fukuoka.
South Korea contributions to technology. South Korea has earned a reputation as a leading global information and communications technology center, and is topping Bloomberg Index of Most Innovative Nations 2021. With its cutting-edge information and communications technology infrastructure boasting the world's fastest internet speeds, the country is home to global leading electronics and IT companies such as Samsung Electronics, LG Electronics, SK Hynix, and Naver. South Korea is motivated to keep its reputation as a global ICT powerhouse by investigating heavily into innovative technologies such as 5G networks, artificial intelligence, big data, and cybersecurity. 5G network. South Korea became the first country in the world to launch a nationwide 5G network and commercialize 5G services. The Korean government played an essential role in the development of 5G, created a tailored institutional arrangement that allowed South Korea to be at forefront of 5G. In particular, the government set up a detailed time plan on how to go about 5G deployment and commercialization. Artificial intelligence. South Korea is developing its AI capabilities and has expressed its ambition to position itself as a global contender in AI technologies markets. In support of this goal, in 2019, the South Korean government announced its first national AI strategy, which included focusing on heavy investment in AI infrastructures and greater use of AI technologies across all of industries. Interesting places to visit in South Korea. South Korea offers everything a traveler could want in a destination. It has a long and fascinating history, a wonderful culture, amazing food, friendly people, and an excellent tourism infrastructure. It's also a country of contrasts, with tourist attractions ranging from ancient mountaintop Buddhist temples to the ultra-modern skyscrapers of Seoul. The N Seoul Tower. It's positioned almost on top of a mountain, plus the height of the tower itself gets you almost 500 meters above the sea level, and the city below. But leave some time to explore the surrounding mountain area. The tower is near the top of Mount Nansam, and the entire area is Namsan Park, which is run by the city. There are miles of hiking trails to explore, all within a few meters of downtown Seoul. Busan. Busan is the second largest city in the country, and its coast is lined with some beautiful beaches and resorts. There's a lot of culture and history here too. Getting to Busan is easy. It takes a little more than 2 hours from Seoul's on Korea's KTX high-speed bullet train. And no, there are no zombies here. The DMZ. DMZ stands for Demilitarized Zone and is the no man's land border between North and South Korea, heavily guarded and mined. The strange area can be visited, but only on an official guide tour. The official area is about 4 kilometers wide and is formally known as the GSA or Joint Security Area. The Northern Palace. This large palace complex has gone through some incredible turmoil over the years. It was first built in 1395 during the Joseon dynasty, who built 5 grand palaces around Seoul. The palace has been bombed, destroyed, rebuilt several times, occupied by the Japanese, and only finally restored in 1990.
South Korea's cuisine. With Korean food can be found virtually everywhere in vibrant Seoul, from street vendors along narrow alleyways to classy restaurants within five-star hotels. Many of these delicacies have existed for more than 2,000 years and were only consumed by royal families in Korea. Today, Korean food has become so popular that locals and tourists alike describe them as savory, spicy, hearty, and nutritious delight that can be enjoyed at any time of the day. Here are some samples. Kimchi. This signature Korean dish has been around for more than 2,000 years. Kimchi consists in Korean cabbage, radish, pumpkin, onion, ginger, and scallions with chili powder, crushed garlic, and salt seafood, which is then left to ferment. With more than 200 variations available in Seoul, this traditional cuisine is eaten on its own or with white rice and added into porridge soups and rice cakes. Bibimbap. Another must try during your visit to Seoul is bibimbap, a filling and nutrition dish that's widely available in restaurants, food courts, and street markets, depending on region and ingredients used. Bibimbap can be served as a meat-based or vegetarian dish. The most common bibimbap consists in brown rice topped with mixed vegetable, beef or chicken, and raw veg, as well as soy sauce and a dollop of chili pepper pasted for seasoning. ideal for seafood lovers. Red rice cakes. Red rice cakes are a traditional Korean street food that made with thick slices of boiled rice cakes, fish cakes, onions, Dutch garlic, salt, sugar, and assorted vegetables that are stir-fried in sweet red chili sauce, distinguished by its bright red-orange ensemble. This popular snack is usually sold at street vendors and independent snack bars.
Sports in South Korea. Korea's biggest contribution to the world of the sport is Taekwondo. It is the most recognizable Korean sport and features some of the most beautiful moves in the world of the martial arts. It is being said that while most martial arts can be compared to grasshopper and beast, Taekwondo is more like butterfly because of the grace involved in each move. But South Korea is slowly getting westernized and many aspects and they include sports. Most South Koreans enjoy football and baseball. Some of their more traditional sports include boat fighting, wrestling, and kite flying. Yes, kite flying is considered a sport of the most part of East Asia. For the average modern South Korean though, more often than not, football is king. 41% South Koreans still enjoy football and about 25% like baseball according to the most recent polls. Their national football team was the first Asian Football Confederation member to ever reach the FIFA World Cup semis 2002, which they did again in 2010. They have qualified for every World Cup since 1986.
Some famous people, South Korea is historically significant nation with a rich cultural legacy. It comes as no surprise that South Koreans have enriched the world in diverse ways through their contribution to the fields of business, science, fine arts, and sports. K-pop singers, a love team K-pop has become a truly global phenomenon thanks to its distinct blend of addictive melodies, sleek choreography, and production values. An endless parade of attractive South Korean performers who spend years in grueling studio sifting learning to sing and dance in synchronized perfection. Bong Joon-ho, a South Korean movie director known for the acclaimed film Parasite, his filmography is characterized by emphasis on social themes, gender black humor, and student tone shifts.
And that will be everything we have to say about the country of South Korea. We hope all of you enjoyed it.